When we talk about consciousness, we're really talking about one stubborn, amazing fact. Experience is happening. Right now, you can feel your body, hear sounds, maybe notice the screen in front of you, and under all of that, there's this quiet sense of, I am here. That inner feeling is what we mean by consciousness. It's not just brain chemicals firing, and it's not just your behavior from the outside, it's the felt side of life. If we built a robot that talked like us and moved like us but had no inner feeling at all, no what it's like to be me, we'd still say, that thing isn't conscious. This is why consciousness is both obvious and mysterious. Obvious, because you can't doubt you're experiencing something right now. Mysterious, because we still don't fully know why certain brain processes come with this private first-person world. We can explain how an engine runs, but explaining why the engine of the mind produces experience is a deeper puzzle. So the simplest way to put it is, consciousness is experience, as experienced from the inside. Now that inner experience has layers. One layer is what people call phenomenal consciousness. Think of it as the raw movie playing in your mind all the time. The colors, the sounds, the smells, the textures, the moods. You look at a red apple and there's this very specific redness. You hear your name in a crowded hall and it has a very specific ring to it. These felt qualities are sometimes called qualia. They don't need words, they don't even need decisions, they just show up. And this movie keeps playing even when thinking slows down, like when you're lost in music or in a dream or just waking up and you haven't remembered where you are yet. On top of the senses, you get emotions, tight chest, fluttery stomach. And on top of that, you get a kind of atmosphere to the moment, cozy, bored, tense. The more carefully you pay attention, the richer this layer becomes because you're really tuning in to how experience feels, second by second. But there's another layer, and this one is called access consciousness. This is about which parts of that inner movie you can actually use. Lots of things may be happening in your senses, but only some of them make it into the spotlight, where you can talk about them, remember them, and act on them. Maybe there's a faint smell in the room. At first, it's just raw experience. The moment you notice it and say, wait, I smell gas, and then you open a window and later tell someone about it, that's access. That piece of experience became available to the rest of your mind. Now your memory can work with it. Your language can describe it. Your decision systems can respond to it. We see this difference in daily life. You can drive on autopilot and suddenly realize you missed your exit. So clearly some information was there, but it never made it to the spotlight. So you can think of it like this. Phenomenal is the felt presence. Access is the usable, shareable presence. All of this is always tied to subjectivity, the fact that experience is always from a point of view. Two people can watch the same sunset and have two different inner movies. One is remembering childhood, the other is thinking about a breakup. Same outside world, different inside world. That doesn't mean one of them is wrong, it just means consciousness always carries the stamp of the person. Your memories, your culture, your mood, even whether you're hungry, all of that colors what you notice. If you're anxious, you spot threats faster. If you're hungry, food ads pop out. If your language gives you more words for emotions, you notice more emotions. Understanding this is powerful because it makes you humble. This is how it seems to me. And it also shows you can train your point of view. You can learn to pay attention differently, and when you do, the world doesn't exactly change, but the world you live in changes. Okay? So inner experience is real and it comes in layers. but it also comes in levels or states. Sometimes our consciousness tightens and becomes small. Sometimes it opens and becomes wide. In the lower states, the world shrinks and time feels short. Fear makes the body brace and the mind scan for danger. You start speaking in warnings and planning for worst cases. People around you can feel that, so they start tiptoeing too. Shame pulls you out of connection. I am the problem. You avoid eye contact, you talk softer, you hide your real self, and people read that as don't look too closely or don't depend on me. Lust or craving narrows everything down to one urgent target. This person, this win, this pleasure, so the future fades and the present becomes grabby. People feel that heat and they can be pulled in, but sometimes they also feel used, like they're just part of your goal. Anger slices the world into right and wrong. It gives you power to draw a line or protect yourself, but if it stays hot and unmanaged, it burns bridges. In all of these, attention is tight, choices are reactive, and the message you send out is basically threat, need, or control. And the world often mirrors that back to you. In the higher states, the world opens and time stretches. Courage doesn't mean you're not afraid. It means I'm afraid and I'm moving anyway. Your words get more honest and people hear, we can work with this. Gratitude tilts your attention toward what's actually here and good. When you name what you appreciate, people feel seen, and funny enough, people love giving more where they feel seen. Love or compassion expands your circle of us. You start to meet people with your well-being matters too, and that melts a lot of defensiveness. Peace is like a steady center. Life still throws stuff at you, but it doesn't yank the steering wheel away. People borrow your calm and start thinking more clearly. Acceptance is where you stop arguing with facts and start working with them. This is the situation. Here's what we can do that shifts groups from blame to problem solving. In these states, attention is broad, choices are deliberate, and your message is safety, respect, possibility. And the world often answers with openness, help, and shared momentum. This is where people start talking about frequency. They don't usually mean a literal radio wave. Think of frequency as the lived signal you're sending, your nervous system state, your posture, your tone, your words, your choices, and even the expectations you walk in with. That signal meets a responsive world. People, social media, work, random chances, and it creates feedback loops. When you're in fear, you show up like fear, you speak like fear, you choose like fear, and you start getting fear-shaped responses. It feels like the universe is agreeing with you. When you're in gratitude or courage, you show up like that, and you start getting those responses. It feels like the universe is agreeing with that. Same universe, different signal, different loop. Here's how different states tend to broadcast. Fear says, danger is near, so people get cautious, things get small, and you see proof you should stay small. Shame says, I am the problem, so you hide, and you end up in places that don't ask you to shine. Lust says, now or nothing, so you attract quick, hot, but often fragile situations. Anger says, boundaries are broken and used cleanly. It attracts respect. Used as attack, it attracts resistance. Courage says, I'm scared and I'm moving, and that attracts allies and honest feedback. Gratitude says, there is good here, and that attracts generosity and second chances. Love says, your well-being matters, and that attracts trust and deep collaboration. Peace says, no panic. and that attracts clarity and responsibility. Acceptance says, these are the facts, let's work, and that attracts problem solvers instead of drama. Now, why does it look like attracts like even without magic? 3 big reasons. First, your attention filter. Your state is like the question your brain is asking. Fear asks, what's wrong? And finds what's wrong. Gratitude asks, what's good? And finds what's good. Courage asks, what's the next step? And finds options. What you notice shapes what you try, and what you try shapes what happens. Second, micro signals. Your body talks before your mouth does. Breath, shoulders, eye contact, tone. People read all of that in milliseconds. If you walk in tight and fast, the room hears defense, even if your words say, it's fine. If you walk in steady and grounded, the room hears safe, even if the topic is hard. People then respond to that state. Third, choices and odds. Your state changes what bets you place. Fear makes you choose low upside, low learning actions. Courage makes you try small, reversible experiments. Love makes you include people so your network starts working with you. Over time, those different choices change the odds of good things happening. Not guarantees, better odds. Let's summarize all of it. Life isn't a vending machine. Illness, economics, injustice, and randomness exist. Your state strongly shapes probabilities, not guarantees. Use frequency to expand agency and compassion, not to shame yourself or others when hard things happen. That way, this whole levels of consciousness idea doesn't become another tool to beat yourself up with. It becomes what it was supposed to be from the start, a way to tune your inner signal so you can see more clearly, love more widely, and act more wisely in the world you actually live in. Join the circle, subscribe, leave a story in the comments, and bring a friend to the table.